What's up, guys? This is Casey, and welcome back to the channel. So today's your stimulus update and stimulus package for August 19th, 2020. And we got a little bit to cover, so I want to get into this and just kind of hop in. So thanks for watching in. So today, the Republicans came out and they stated that they are no longer on board with even their $1 trillion package that they presented a few weeks ago. So if you guys are not aware, which I'm sure most of you are, the Democrats came out back in the middle of May and they presented a $3.5 trillion package that they thought that we needed to kind of get our economy out of the pandemic. And the Republicans responded with, no, not really. We're going to only do $1 trillion. And so the Democrats came out and said that, okay, well, we'll meet you in the middle and we will drop our original request from $3.5 trillion down to $2.5 trillion. And the Republicans said, yeah, well, good for you. We're not going to raise our package up $1 from the $1 trillion. Well, it turns out that now the Republicans are no longer even offering the $1 trillion, that they are now rolling out what they call a skinny package. And with the skinny package, they are now only offering up to $500 billion. And basically what they're doing is that they're now eliminating a lot of the state and federal aid. And what they're also doing is they are eliminating very interestingly, they are eliminating at least the language of having a second stimulus check. Now that's very interesting because up until this point, they were very on board with issuing a second stimulus check. But I guess because of the all-time high stock market and because unemployment numbers have been slowly dwindling, which is a good thing, that they are now saying even our $1 trillion package is off the table. That's a little concerning, but that's kind of where we are with this. So, in terms of the pared-down GOP, that's a tongue twister, proposal, it is expected to include more aid for small businesses by providing additional funding for the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, which is a good thing. They did also indicate, the Republicans, that their skinny bill is going to include $10 billion for the USPS, so the United States Postal Service. Now, this is what Manchin and Meadows that they agreed to back months ago between Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer on the Democratic side. Now, however, it is less than the original $25 billion that they originally wanted to have. I should say that the Democrats. Now, again, back to the stimulus check here. It's very interesting that they excluded this because up until this point, they were really on board with this, and now all of a sudden they're not. And so given that the stated goal of the new Senate Republican proposal is to kind of prune the cost of the $1 trillion legislation introduced in June, actually it was introduced in July, it's clear that there are a lot of elements that have been reduced or scaled back and eliminated. We did not expect the stimulus check to be eliminated, but yet and still it appears as though that is the case. Now, the new Republican proposal, it is expected to be unveiled this week. And, it just flat out represents the latest offers from the Republicans from what they have to offer right now. Now, I'm a little concerned for a couple of reasons. One being, if you guys have been following the stock market, you'll know that the stock market is at an all-time high, which is, I guess, great news, quote unquote. But, if you guys are also been following the economy, you know that the unemployment numbers are still very high. Yes, they have been slowly going down, but, even up to a couple of months ago, we had a clerical error, if you will, to where the unemployment number was incorrectly misprinted on the Thursday for the unemployment reports. And then they corrected it and turns out that it was actually higher than what it was. And so what we have here right now is we have an economy that is still only quasi-open. We still have a ridiculously high unemployment rate. And now we have a Republican Party that has decided that they don't even want to approve $1 trillion package. They only want to now do $500 billion. And so it looks like that they're really just flat out trimming down a lot of things. They are still on board with doing funding for schools and for some small businesses and things like that nature. But for all of the intents and purposes, they're trying to flat out eliminate the checks. They're trying to eliminate the funding for the funding for the states and local governments. And I don't know, I feel like that's just kind of concerning at this point. So, hopefully this does not get passed. What I do think is going to happen is I think that the Democrats and the Republicans are going to probably continue to do negotiations until probably, I would say, the next few weeks or so. And then at that point, I think they're going to have to come to some type of resolution. Now, just so that you guys are aware, the Republicans are still on board with the $300 weekly unemployment amount. So that's not going to go anywhere. Now, if you're aware, the Democrats, they were very set on $600. And, Donald Trump, he passed an executive order a few weeks ago that did extend the unemployment amount for $400. The Republicans are still on board with that, but as of right now, they haven't yet agreed on that yet. So we are still kind of in I guess if you will, a twilight zone. again, we're not exactly sure when they're going to come back to the table, they meaning the Democrats and the Republicans, but I do think that they are going to get a bill done. I think it's just a matter of time, the next couple of weeks, to figure out exactly how the unemployment numbers are going to be looking. And, we're going to kind of go from there. So, listen, guys, I do appreciate the patience. I know that this has been a very challenging time for a lot of people, and it still is for a lot of people. There's still a lot of question marks as to unemployment, as to jobs, as to whether or not the economy is opening, as to whether or not there's going to be another rollout or shutdown, and just lots of question marks. So, hopefully Congress can get it together and they can get this package rolled out to where people can ensure that, they can put food on the table and keep the rents and mortgages and things up to date and current. And we can kind of go from there. So I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. I wanted to keep this video short and sweet today, just kind of get to the point on it to keep you guys updated on the latest. And any additional news that we get, I'll make sure to keep you guys up to date. So talk to you later. Take care.